All right. We back here at the Hater World. We're back with another episode. Today we got a special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What up, what up? It's Mr. Juan out of Riverside, California. What's good?
So you're here today because you're a rapper from back in the days. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So check this out, dog. Let's start off at the beginning, fool. Let me know where you grew up at, where you come from.
Oh, man. Born and raised out of Casablanca, Riverside. Grew up there pretty much most of my life. I've lived in different areas, and I've seen different parts of Cali at times, but majority of my life, that's where I stayed at. That's the neighborhood.
So talk to me about Riverside, bro. Is that where you were born as well?
Yes, sir. Yeah, Riverside's it's home. You know what I mean? It's like I said, I've been other places. I've got to live in other places for brief periods of time, from places in LA, Victorville, doing work jobs in Blythe. So I've seen California from different angles, and you know what I mean? Nothing like home.
Talk to me about growing up in Riverside, bro. Did you have both your parents? Were you raised under a single mother? You know, talk to me a little bit about how it was growing up there.
Early on, mom and dad obviously in the home. Up until I was about, I wish to say, maybe 7 or so. Unfortunately, you know, they split up. I've seen drugs break up a home, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, being on that side of the fence. But they were actually great parents still, you know, separate, and I still got along. My dad loved my mom until he passed away. So, you know what I mean? Can't take nothing away from that. You feel me?
So growing up right there in Riverside, you said you were only with your mom?
After a certain point, I lived with my mom and my brother for up until like 8th grade or so. And then I moved back with my dad and my grandma for a certain amount of time. And then I moved back with my mom. And then my senior year for high school, when I graduated, I moved back with my mom, or my dad and my grandma. And I was there pretty much until my dad had passed that year. I graduated. And then I stayed with my grandma and took care of her until she passed. So I was there until 2016 or so.
Okay, so early on, bro, growing up right there in the household, what type of music were your mom and your pops bumping at an early age?
Man, early on it was rock and roll, you know, rap, early rap, you know, NWA, Kid Frost. Mom would play Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Iron Maiden. Yeah, that was the majority of music in my home. And then, you know, they like the funk too, like Zapp and Roger, obviously Michael Jackson, Prince, you know, different records.
What were you into when you were young, bro? What was you trying to listen to? Were you influenced by like hip hop at that time in the 90s, Bone Thugs, Tupac, stuff like that?
Yeah, like that early on, the West Coast stuff, obviously Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre was probably the early inspiration when I was a kid. NWA stuff, Bone Thugs, Eazy-E, man, Warren G, all them, you know. But on top of that, I used to like bumping Guns N' Roses, Metallica. I mean, I was in the rock and roll too at the time. Still am.
Okay, so talk to me about the schools you went to in elementary and maybe middle school and high school in Riverside.
Jackson Elementary, fucking kindergarten till 6th grade, one school pretty much. Then from there on, it was middle school. It was uni, and then I switched to Earhart for 8th grade, and then high school, man, I went to King, I went to North, and I graduated from Arlington.
And the only reason I ask this is because a lot of people are watching this, and then once they hear the schools you went to, if they're from Riverside, they could relate.
Yeah, yes, sir.
You know. So talk to me about coming home from, let's say, elementary school. You came home. What was your daily routine like in Riverside, bro?
Man, I mean, I'm a 90s kid raised up, so like hanging out with friends, you know what I mean? Leaving the house, going to fucking play football, baseball, whatever, you know, ride bikes. Video games is obviously a big, heavy influence on us. Pro wrestling, watching wrestling since I was a kid. That was kind of like a family thing. So like, going on vacations. My dad early on would take us out here and there and fucking, you know, get out for a weekend, go do some fun shit. So trying not to just keep us home all the time. And like I was like rarely home when I was a kid. Probably always hanging out with the homies, you know what I mean, here and there.
How was your father? What kind of father did you have?
Really cool dad, man. Fucking strict, obviously, like to a point where it was like, you know what, just fucking don't act out, don't act up, fucking do as you're told, listen, and fucking we'll be good. You know what I mean? Do what you gotta do at school, get your shit done. You know, like him not talking to me in a sense, or getting a talking from your dad was kind of like a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Like if I don't gotta talk to you, we're straight. You know what I mean? And like growing up early on, obviously I was more of a mama's boy opposed to getting along with my dad. I didn't really bond a really strong relationship with my dad until actually I think my mom and dad separated, and I had more one-on-one time with my dad, and got to see, you know what, he's still out there grinding for me and providing for me, and fucking seeing him go to work and learning how to become a man in a sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's instilled that in me, watching him do those things.
Now, were you one of those kids that, had a hobby where you would go maybe like cut grass to make some money? Were you out there throwing the newspaper? Because those were heavy things in the 90s.
Man, I'll be honest, bro. I wasn't really like when I was a kid, like having money, it was like I could get it if I asked for it, I guess. You know what I mean? Like I always, kept like my room clean and shit like that, but like I really never had to like do extra chores and shit. And then being once I was raised with my grandma, it was kind of like, nah, whatever he wants, fuck it, I got him. You know what I'm saying? And as a kid, that's fucking, you're spoiled.
So grandma had you spoiled then.
Yeah, Grams having me spoiled, man. I can't lie, dude. I miss her. Fucking, she had me spoiled. It's a good thing and a bad thing, but at the same time, I wouldn't trade it for the world. You feel me?
Now, right now we're close to Christmas. We're in December or around the corner.
Yes, sir.
Give me a Christmas memory that you have growing up with your family.
Man, the last one I could remember as a kid together, I think all of us was like when I was like 6. Like I remember we did a Christmas there, right there at the house we grew up in when I was little. And I can remember the presents and shit still that I got, what they got me, and fucking, that was like the last Christmas I think we did together as whole. Like we obviously did Christmas, like we would pop up at my grandma's, like my mom would bring us, or like my dad would take me over there, and they would have dinner over there. So it was kind of like still the same, but like as far as in the home together, I like 6 or 7.
Now, one thing I didn't ask is, where's your nationality come from?
Shit, man. I mean, as far as I know, and as far as I've been, when I've ever asked, like, my grandparents, they were both born and raised here, but like my grandpa, I should say, and my grandma come from Ensenada, and then like further on, like Michoacan, like, you know what I mean, like further back. I don't know enough about it, to be honest. I was never really like schooled, like, hey, these are. You know what I'm saying? But I know for sure, like, that's where, like, my heritage, as far as, like, my mom's side, I think my mom's side, it's Michoacan, and then, like, my dad's side, it would be, like, I want to say TJ or Ensenada.
So you're Mexican?
Yes, sir. Mexican.
Mexican-American.
However you say it.
Do you consider yourself a Chicano?
More so than I would say Mexican, I guess, because I was more born and raised into the Chicano lifestyle. Like I've only been to Mexico twice in my life. You feel me? Maybe 3 times. So take it how y'all want it. You know what I mean?
You're not interested into looking into your family lineage?
I mean, I am, and I know I could know more if I really sat there and I wanted to take the time to learn. I guess it's just sometimes we get so busy with shit, and being a dad on top of doing other things, it's like I don't sit there enough and have those conversations, which is a good question, because it actually will sit there and let me pick my mom's brain. And like I have one of my grandmas still here, and I could pick her brain a little bit. She'd be able to shed some more light on all that. And I know they have. I just, I'm a stoner. I forget things.
Now, I'll tell you from experience, we don't think it's that important, but in true reality, it is.
Yeah.
Because it's knowledge that we're gonna leave down to our kids and our nephews to let them know where they come from.
Yes, sir. Yeah, like in like the whole people who like pay to fucking get their ancestry thing. Like I don't know how legit that is. So like I mean, I've always wondered. You know what I mean? Like how legit those things are to detecting your heritages and all that.
Yeah, like the DNA test and stuff like that.
Yeah. I know one of them actually shut down recently, I think, for that.
Well, yeah, there's reasons behind that I was reading, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so now let's talk about a little bit junior high school. How was it in Riverside Junior High? Because now, elementary you're a kid, but now when you go into junior high school, kids are dibbling and dabbling in gangs, drugs, violence. How was Riverside, compared to other places?
Well, being that I finished school, like I said, elementary one spot, and I moved. So when I moved, I wasn't going to middle school with the homies that I had grew up with in elementary. It was like a whole new batch of people. So fucking getting adjusted was like the first thing. Like, luckily I had cousins who I fucking vaguely knew, and they really didn't know me, but they were my cousins. So it was kind of like they're gonna fucking help you fit in and help you fucking meet people and get you settled in and shit. And which was cool, you know what I mean? I ended up fucking bonding and getting along with some of my cousins that I really didn't know then that well, and fucking it was a whole different experience. Yeah, like a couple of my cousins were fucking potheads, and so that was, other than my brother who got me, was the first time I started smoking. He was the first one to kind of introduce me to marijuana. I had a couple cousins who fucking burned in middle school, and like occasionally whenever we got together and hung out outside of school, we fucking would burn. So that was like kind of like my early dabblings of fucking with weed and shit,
So you got introduced to narcotics in middle school?
Yeah, around there. After 6th grade, I guess, so you could say pre-fucking middle school.
So would you consider that jumping off the porch? Because people say they jump off the porch means like, they get into the street life. Were you smoking weed or were you already indulging in the street life?
No, it was more so like, being that I grew up in the neighborhood I grew up in, I learned early on as a little kid seeing the shit around me, and having an older brother, fortunately, to fucking keep me, I guess, keep my head straight with shit, and fucking teach me the game, you know what I mean, and teach me what's what, and at the same time protect me from putting myself in stupid situations. And it's like, not really that he protected me from it, it's I got to see it through him, you know what I mean, like, so it was kind of like a double edge. It was like, don't go do what I do, you know what I mean, because what I do leads to this and that. And I've had my experiences. I've been at house parties, they've got shot up, you know what I mean? Or motherfuckers get in brawls and fools get caught up in the wrong shit, you know what I mean? So I got to see it for myself eventually when I went out, into the world and fucking, seeing what the fuck he was keeping me away from, you know what I mean? And I get it, you know what I mean? So salute to my big brother, you know what I mean?
Was Riverside active in the 90s as far as like the middle school and the high schools?
Yeah, man. I mean, I remember a lot more drama from what I would hear, but you're a kid, so it's like, I got kids, so to hear what they talk about their drama, it seems like my generation was that last generation of knuckleheads. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's knuckleheads, but it's like kids being more kidly and they're just fucking off, like, opposed to like motherfuckers are going to scrap. I mean, I know kids still scrap in school and shit, but like, I don't know, to me it was more active. Like when I was in school, and when I knew when my brother was in school, I remember them fighting all the time, you know what I mean? So I don't know if it toned down a bit or what.
Did you go to a school that had like multiple type of gangs, or was it just one dominant gang in that school?
Going to North, yeah, I was obviously we had a lot of East Siders there, and then they, their situation with 12. So they had their little problems there at school all the time between Eastside and 1200, and that was kind of where there would be some drama. Like Arlington, there wasn't really drama at Arlington. It was kind of a lot more chiller than it was at North. North, where shit would pop off more, and King was kind of like, nah, it was like more of a preppy school. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to think of a gang that's there. De Anza. People always bring it up when they're here from Riverside. Can you name a few?
Shit. There's
Maybe
what side of Riverside though?
I don't know.
Okay, because I know there's De Anza.
I've heard.
I know there's a street De Anza, but
Casablanca,
East Side, Riverside. But see, within East Side, you got 14th Street, you got Patterson Park, you got Tiny Dukes. Just like in CB, you got, the Devil Wolves, you got Diablos, you got Shit, man. Like, and they got the guys out there in the South Side. Like, I know my homie Worm and them. Like, back in the day, the homie was from MD. And then, like, there's a lot. You know what I mean?
What's
Like,
another dominant gang there?
um, shit, bro. Like, West Side, obviously. I know they're big.
West Side, Riverside, right? That's
Yeah.
Ruby Doo?
Yeah. Like, and I don't really know too much, like, people from Rubidoux. Like, I've met a couple, you know what I mean? But I know as far as their activity has always been heavy. You know what I mean?
Okay, we'll move past that. Maybe I'll recall later down the road.
Shout out to all of them, though. You know what I mean? Salute to the whole city.
Did you ever join a gang?
No, I fucking just never really wasn't my cup of tea. You know what I mean? I just wasn't interested in it. You know what I mean?
Why? What was it? What was about it?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I was always taught not to put myself in a position where I would do something I regret, which actually, I mean, we all do, but like in a sense of going out there and doing something that I wouldn't want done to me, or like, you know, fucking up with the wrong crowd, you know, getting put in a position, doing a bid, fucking, like, nobody really, I think, wants to go to jail, you know what I mean, or wants or thinks like, you know what, prison's the fucking way for me, you know what I mean, like, that's not my mentality, you know what I mean?
Did you have people around you that were trying to like recruit you or like, sway you?
No, but I mean, I knew all the homies. So like, you know what I mean? Like, going and fucking with the homies from Tiny Dukes, you know what I mean? And chopping it up with them, or, you know what I mean? Like my mom grew up an East Sider, you know what I mean? Like, she was from 14th Street, you know what I mean? Back in the day. And it's like, I know 14th Streeters. I know dudes from Patterson that are cool on the East Side. And then, like I said, in my neighborhood in CB, I'm pretty much cool with anybody over there. Like, I don't have issues with if they have issues with me, I don't know why. But like, I'm easy to get along with. You know what I mean? I'm a people person. I can go to fucking Compton, chill with my boy Big Tud out there, and fucking he'll take me to the neighborhoods, and I'm good there too. You know what I mean? So I've always been, I guess, raised to go be different. You know what I'm saying? Do you. Don't fucking follow the crowd. You know what I mean?
So let's talk a little bit about high school, bro. We already went through middle school, elementary. How was high school for you?
Chill. I mean, fucking chill. For the most part, it wasn't really too active for me. I mean, I would go out. We would do things. We would ditch, fucking, you know what I mean? Go to parties, fucking. Obviously, girls were like the main thing for me. Then I was running through, you know what I mean? Hanging out with mad girls and fucking going on dates and shit, being a kid, fucking, you know, going to your fucking, taking your girl to the movies or taking your girl here and there. I'm old school with it. So it was real chill, dog. Arlington was cool because I got to, like I said, I got to go back, and that's like my elementary. What would have been my elementary following if I would have stayed. So going back to Arlington, it was like I got to go see a lot of the homies I did go to elementary with that knew me, you know what I mean? So that was pretty cool. And graduating there, following, like, my dad graduated from there, my brother graduated from there, I'm graduating from there, you know what I'm saying? So my oldest graduated from there, or he's about to, I should say. So, like, yeah, I guess keeping it a tradition, so to speak, you know?
So you did graduate.
Yes, sir. Fuck yeah.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
I got one brother.
Did he graduate?
Yep, he graduated. I don't know how. He don't know how. I mean, even with me, like, my senior year, my dad passed away, I want to say, like, 2 months or so into my senior year. So, like, I mean, for me, it was kind of just, like, sit next to fucking the smartest person in the class and tell that motherfucker fucking kick the work and just turn your shit in. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I fucking passed. I mean, I studied, I guess, but, you know what I mean? It was kind of just, like, do your shit, turn it in. You know what I mean?
So basically, you had a normal childhood.
Yeah, pretty normal.
Not too much in the streets, not too much, gang banging. It's just, what you would call a suburban life.
Yeah, like, I mean, like I said, like, I've been around the shit, you know what I mean? Like, I've have homies, like, you know what I mean, that have put me around the environments. Like I said, I've seen the activity, I've been near it, I just never really partake. It was never really my cup of tea, you know what I mean?
So then you graduate, and a lot of people might not have, goals to go into the real world now that they're 18. Did you have goals that you wanted to do? Maybe a job, or maybe you want to go be a police officer or something like that?
Nah, bro. Like, I mean, being like, you don't notice it till after. For a long time, I'm sure maybe it's gone that way for a lot of people. But for me, it was like, I never got that niche early on. Like I know there's kids that are like, you know, and they grow up and they stick through it and they want to be a doctor or they want to be that. Like I never really like thought about it. Like what am I gonna do? And then, bam, fucking, it was like I was done with high school. It's like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? But I had got into the music scene. Like I want to say my junior year is when I started, started dabbling in rap. So like by the time after my junior year ended, my first release came out and fucking music became my thing for X amount of years, you know what I mean? And I did the music heavy and that was paid. That was the paper in the pocket. That was, you know, my funds to do whatever.
So at a high school, no job, no girlfriend,
Girlfriends.
girlfriends. Did you have a car?
Yeah, hell yeah.
What was your first car?
First car was a Honda Accord. It was actually my brother's, who would be my sister-in-law now. It was one of her first cars. I ended up buying it off of her, and fucking shit, man. You know, like every kid, rode it. Eventually, got into a fucking couple accidents. My biggest fuck up early on was riding dirty. Like, you know what? Not clearing up my tickets and not fucking and not handling all that aspect of it. To where eventually, yeah, it cost me a couple cars and a couple of thousands of dollars and fucking to get my license. And eventually, you know what? When I got it, I was like, all right, you know, no more fucking around, no more riding dirty.
You said Honda Accord. What year?
I think that one might have been a 92. Because I had a 92, I think, yeah, it was a 92. And then like 2 years after, I got the fucking, the 2004. And then after the 2004, man, I've had so many cars, bro.
The 94, that's like the triangle pointy one, right?
Yeah, but the 92 was like the last of that body style. I think 93, they changed it on. And then in 04, they brought that like slim bubble style with them or whatever.
The circle-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, so then there you are. You got a whip. Now you're 18. How do you get into the music business?
Man, I caught the bug early on. I used to watch my brother and like his homies when they would come burn and they would freestyle. I mean, obviously, rap was a big influence on my life. Like I said, I would listen to a lot of it growing up as a kid. And I was always interested in it. But after hearing them do their things a few times, I was like, one day I think I could do this. You know what? I gave it a shot. Started writing my own shit by myself, to myself. I was like, I'm not gonna let anybody know I rap and get embarrassed, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm fucking too new. So eventually that turned into me wanting to do it and taking a chance. And then I got lined up with the right people and got put into a studio finally when I was ready. And shit, ever since then, man, the rest is history.
So you saw your brothers freestyling, you said?
Yeah, man, they would come freestyle at the house. They would smoke and just drink, and a couple of him and his homies would fucking just, kick raps and shit, So I would see things early on and like, okay, this is fucking pretty dope. I've always been a fan of the cypher, you know what I mean? Like old school hip hop fucking ciphers. I don't know about now, like freestyling and rapping and ciphers are different than they were to me then. Like now, I don't understand some of the shit they do now because now it's more of a battle. The whole battle style, it's odd to me. I don't know. I really didn't grow up.
So when they were freestyling, there was just high, drunk freestyle. It wasn't no professional shit, right?
Yeah. Like I think they might have got into a studio one time to lay something, but like he didn't get into the studio until after I established myself and did a record, and then finally he came to lay his own thing. But my brother kind of never really did anything with it. He just did a song which I put out on a record, on a compilation, and that was it.
Okay, so then you caught the bug because your brother was freestyling, and then you go directly to a studio, or how did you know you had a skill of rapping? You were just fucking around, or what?
Like, I just took a chance on doing records with a couple homies. We got together, we did some songs as a group, you know what I mean? And fucking, we met, it's actually shout out to my cousin, Lil Sickle. I linked up with him, and he got me into the studio, which is Little Green. A lot of rappers are infamous for going to Little Green Studio. Shout out to Joe. And ever since then, it was like, okay, like he taught me bars in a sense, what's a bar. He taught me in a sense of how many bars in the song, you know, like there was a formula we had to do in our music early on as far as writing and all that, and I kind of got that from him. And we just started going to the studio, making songs, put a few songs on CDs, handing them out to homies at school, you know what I mean, here and there. And fucking, at that point, it was like, okay, let's take it further. Let's do an album and see if we could get a record in stores. Like, that's when I got introduced to Chicano rap, when it had that second wave right around 99 going into the early 2000s.
Oh, okay, but you didn't answer my question. My question is,
Oh, shit.
how did you know you could rap? Like, how did you find out? Like, oh shit, I'm a rapper.
Just, I guess I just did it. Once I heard myself, I kind of just had confidence in myself when eventually when I felt like,
Were you singing in the shower?
not really in the shower, so to speak, but it was like I'd write verses, I'd get instrumentals and I'd write verses at the house, and I'd practice them over and over in the room. And then eventually when I got to the studio and we laid shit down, like we heard something was there. I mean, at least I did. At least I thought something's there. Now if I listen to my old shit, I'm like, man, this shit's embarrassing. But that was because where I'm at now as a lyricist, as an artist, that's what I wanted to be then. So to get to where I'm at now, but wanting to have that skill-wise then was a whole different obstacle. You know, early on, when you hear your records now, when I hear something, when I did something at 15, I'm like, what the fuck? But I still hear that sound there, that what made me think, you know what, you could do it, that cadence, being on beat. Because to me now, none of these rappers are on beat. A lot of these rappers ain't on beat no more, and then like that's accepted. I don't know when that happened, but to me, it's odd.
So you were just fucking around, bro. You were just fucking around, and then you realized you had something. All right, cool. We got it. It's because I'm trying to follow, you know, a time. I'm trying to follow the time here, right? Okay, so then you said your cousin was Lil Sicko.
Yes, sir.
Lil Sicko is infamous for being Pimp Rolling Records, right?
Yes, sir. Shout out to Sicko, Blackie Bundy, everybody out there. What's good, fam?
Okay, so they were already rapping?
Yeah, they were already established. They were at this time, but like I said, I didn't get introduced to the game, to this aspect of Chicano rap and anything, until I moved away my freshman year to my junior year. Because my freshman year I was at King, which is a real white preppy area in a sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not much street shit out there. So when I come back, when I move with my brother and my mom, and I go to this school where all the East Siders are, all the fucking shit's going on. Obviously, fucking, it's a whole different world for me. Even for me, like fucking, the attention I got, like, you know what I mean, fucking, was just different. You know what I mean? So it was a different experience. It was a cool ass environment. So that's where everything I learned about the game. I learned about the artists from Shadow, Little Rob, Royalty, you know, all the San Diego guys that were doing really big at the time. Obviously, Little Blackie, he was really blowing up at the time. Slow Pain, fucking, you know, just different artists I would hear about from Frost. You know what I mean? Because obviously I was raised on Frost and Lighter Shade of Brown early on, and those were the ones that I knew. Cypress Hill. So seeing a whole different landscape of artists, it was a trip. It was like, fuck, there's a whole bunch of Mexicans that do rap. I didn't even know this shit. You know what I mean?
So okay, that's the question. So when you were fucking around rapping, trying to rap, you knew your cousin was rapping, or you didn't know?
I didn't know it at first. I didn't know it till, man, I believe my mom was the one that kind of broke the ice on that and told me about that and put me in, even to meeting him. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like we're related in a sense, but we're not, like, we weren't close. I didn't know, I didn't grow up, but like there was a time where it's like, hey, this is your cousin. My brother knew them more than I knew them at the time. And that's from whatever shit got out there. So like when I met Sick and I started chilling with Sick more, like, and we did the rapping thing, it was like, cool, we were rapping. It was Sicko, me, the homie Mike, Ogami, the homie Gibby. Fucking, it was like all of us, and we all knew them. We all knew Sicko, and we were tied in that way, one way or another, through Sicko and Blackie and them, and that's how we started doing a lot of our early records, were with Sicko. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because Pimp Rolling Records, they were probably like at that time, one of the most dominant Inland Empire record labels. They had them, and then you had Payaso and the Dukes Click.
Yeah,
And
shout out to them.
I think that was like the only IE of record companies at that time.
Like, and that's how I got in the game, man. Is Payaso. Fucking meeting him, and I left my tape at his. He had a store at the Fontana Indoor. He had a record store. He used to sell Chicano rap and oldies, different shit. And his homie would do airbrushes there. So once I had a record ready, which became my first album on the block, I was like, okay, let me find someone that'll put it out. You know what I mean? I wanted to get someone that'll put it out. Trying different avenues, certain ways didn't work. I obviously wasn't gonna, I don't know, be like, here, like go to my family and be like, put this out. Like go to Sickle and be like, Sickle, put this out. Like, I need you to put this out for me. Because I didn't want to feel like that was...
You wanted to do it yourself.
Yeah, I didn't want to do the handout.
handouts.
Yeah, so like I went to like I said, the Fontana Swap Meet, left my shit there, got a call from Payaso. If y'all don't know, Payaso's also, their family's behind the Teen Angel magazine. All those issues that came back, his dad's the creator. So he calls me up, fucking tells me, let's work, let's put this album out. He likes it, fucking, he thinks we could do something with it. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. And I met him, rest is history, man, that's my boy, rest in peace. And man, he's the one that got me in the game. He's the one that showed me the CD hustle, got me the shows. We did a lot of shows early on, so many fucking shows. We used to go slang CDs, magazines, shirts, and yeah, man.
So when you did your first record, you were in high school still or out of high school?
I was in high school. I was finishing my junior year.
And
Senior year, I had my record. My record was already out. I had CDs and shit.
Senior year, you had you had a song done.
I had an album done.
You had an album done.
Yeah.
And that you recorded at Little Green.
Yes, sir.
How did you meet Little Green?
Sickle got me in the studio.
Okay.
That was their studio. They had their plug. I got plugged in through Sickle.
So to follow it right, in high school, you started fucking around with the music. Then you started talking to your cousin Lil Sickle that was already doing music, and he tapped you in with Lil Green.
Yep.
You go record a full album.
Yep.
Then you take that album and you drop it off at the Fontana Swap Meet.
Homie's music. Yes,
Boom.
sir.
What was Payaso? What was the phone call like when he called you?
Man, just pretty simple, man. Payaso's like one of the most humbling dudes I've ever met. Like he's business. He's always been all business. Like when it comes to handling business, it was kind of like, hey, check it out. I got your CD. Fucking the homies told me you left it. Fucking I went through it. It sounds pretty dope. I see you got Blackie on there. I see you got Sicko on there. I think I had songs with the Fern. I don't know if Pops is on my first album. Oh yeah, Pops is on my first album. Rest in peace, Pops. And he was just like, I want to fuck with it. I want to put it out. And I knew he had his, his distribution through himself where, he was grinding all the shit because he had the Deuce Click album. And I think they had a couple more records already out.
Travieso.
Travieso, shout out to Travieso. Yeah, they had the Deuce Click album.
They were from San Bernardino to be exact.
Yes, sir, San Bernardino. So they were grinding, doing their own thing, and he was doing the magazine thing, but he was also talking about, at the time, he wanted to put together a label of rappers for his shit and, go out there and get the money. And I was one of a few other rappers, solo artists that, he put out. You know what I mean?
So he signed you?
Yeah, he signed me. Everything. We only did one contract on paper. Everything else we did was verbally, was a verbal handshake. This is pre-digital media, obviously, so this is like CDs and shit. And I had about 5 or 6 maybe street releases that we just kind of were just, word of mouth deals. The only one deal was actually on paper. That was my first deal.
Talk to me about that one, bro. A lot of people think that in Chicano rap, you get a deal and you get rich. Let it be known how that worked, bro.
My first deal originally was for a couple G's. I ain't gonna lie. It was, a few G's for the pressing. And then we had that deal established to where if he had to repress it, like, okay, we're out, I need another run. He's gonna pay me that same amount again, X amount of dollars. You feel me? So like, let's just say it was $5,000, right? So we sold through the fucking first 1,000 units. He pays me another $5,000, like, you know what I mean? Like something like that in aspect. That was the only deal we had on paper like that. But that's how we always operated.
So he would repress it every time he would repress 1,000 copies.
Yes, sir.
He would give you a advancement.
He would give me the deal, yeah. Every time we would make, I'd get that same advancement for those records for that next 1,000.
So if he pressed it 1,000 times, you were getting 1,000 advancements, basically.
Yeah.
Now, were you getting any of the physical copies, or was that all him?
Oh yeah, I was always. He'd always kick me like $100 sometimes, or like he would tell me fucking, or instead of X amount of dollars, I could give you X amount of dollars and 200 CDs. You know what I mean? And obviously, you want to take those. You know what I mean? That's more money in reality. So it's like, yeah, all right, cool, give me 200 and fucking take $200 off of what you would give me or some shit. You know.
So to those that are watching, they don't know what the fuck you're talking about when it comes to CDs. Explain to them what CDs are, bro. Because believe it or not, we're in 2025, and a lot of people today don't know what CDs are or cassettes.
Man, CDs basically, bro, are like this. It's obviously, any of you guys that got a PS5 that got a disc that you put that in the motherfucker, that's originally what a CD was prior to Blu-ray and all this fancy advancement shit. So the CD game basically was like, you take your finalized copy fucking to the pressing place and fucking you leave it there. They press up your shit. They put the stamps on the CDs or like the burnt images. You know how CDs well, they don't know, but some CDs would have like the same like a game. They would have the print, whatever it is, graphic on the actual disc. You would get your inserts. If the place was cool as fuck, they do it all together and they wrap it and they'd have them done. Some spots are different. Some spots, yep, exactly like this. Some spots will give them to you ready to go like this, ready to go, sealed up, packaged, fucking the whole nine. Other spots will give you your inserts somewhere else. Like let's say you found a better deal on the printer. You'd have to put your inserts in yourself. So it's to each his own. This is how our shit always came though. It always came like this.
Point it at that camera.
Usually would have the strip right here. There'd be like a label of whatever it is and the title and shit. We started trying to get it as near as possible as they looked in the CD stores, in the warehouse, the Sam Goodies, fucking. We wanted our shit to look almost identical, you know what I'm saying? Because they took you more seriously when your shit's like this back in the day. This was like, okay, this isn't fucking homie burnt his CD out of his computer, put it in a disc, put a sticker on it and said, I'm trying to sell it. You know what I mean? It's a whole different
Even though you have people like that.
No, you do, and shout out to that. Like I've done that shit. It's just, you know what? Like it's how you represent yourself. Where you want to be at in the game and where you want to go is all on you. And I'm sure that still applies today. I know it's a little different with digital, but the way I see it is, in the way I was taught is you put in 110, you're gonna get out 110. And that's usually in almost anything you do in life. You know what I'm saying?
So what would you press up 1,000 copies like that for, and how was the return game on the money, on the profits?
Man, like, well, being you're a kid and you're a youngster, you know, and you're using that money to do whatever with your life, to get you here, to go there, to fucking, to go to your shows, to buy your fucking gear. Like I was fortunate enough to have money coming in a little bit, coming into the game through, you know, certain avenues, like my first year in the game. So it's like that helped me buy my own studio equipment and buy my own shit and start recording myself. And I mean, I got back the value of that though, because I've made back the money through the CDs, selling my albums, or fucking like I've put out albums, you know what I mean? Like I put out Hectic, shout out to Hectic, Eastside Connect, in Riverside, and I put out one of his albums, you know what I mean? On top of compilations. So I would gather songs from homies all around the IE or different areas. I'd be like, give me a song, let me get a song for the comp. And I would put them on the compilations, put their name on there, you know, gave back to the game, fucking that gave to me, you know what I'm saying? I was one of those. I was never really like, I forgot what the term was. Gatekeeper. I wasn't a gatekeeper, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't believe in gatekeeping.
So, all right, so now you got your album out, Payaso and the Dukes Click, right?
Yes, sir.
How was it working with them overall, though? Like, overall experience with them?
Man, good times. Me and Payaso never had really bad business, man. We never, even after I stepped away from the label to pursue my other avenues with music, We never had bad business. We never had nothing bad. It was cool. I would hit him up here and there on Instagram and on Facebook. We would have conversations, you know, because it's crazy going from pretty much being there every weekend or like every other day. We were working on shit, you know what I mean? Working on music videos, working on the shows, getting ready to go do shows. I was leaving high school fucking to go do concerts. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, I won't be in Monday. I got a show in Washington on fucking Saturday. You know what I mean? I'm like, we won't be back in time. Fucking so, like, it was cool, man. It was fucking dope. Really good times. Going to cities you've never been to in your life, you've never heard of, and performing in front of sold out crowds that are there just because you're going to their town showing love. Like, and that was through Payaso, because Payaso had a name already. You know what I mean? He was already established. So going back out there, those avenues when he went, all the people that go to see Paya, they got to see me and they learned about me. Next thing you know, they're calling me like, damn, we want Mr. One and fucking Assassins to come back to Washington another week. And we literally going back to the same state we were at last week to go do another show. So it was fun, man. I don't take nothing away from that. I just wish we hung out a little bit more prior to his passing. Because pretty much after I left the label, man, I think we ran into each other once, but I didn't get to see him again, unfortunately. And he's, you know, brother for life, though, man. I don't take nothing away from that.
For those that don't know, he passed away recently, right? 2020, maybe?
I want to say it was 2020, yeah. 2020 or 2021.
He was one of Chicano rap's legends, bro. He was one of few, because there's not too many, but he was one of the few pioneers, and especially for the Inland Empire.
Yes, sir.
For the IE, for sure, he was a pioneer. Chicano rap, he was one of the top few.
Funny guy,
You
man.
know.
Fucking hilarious dude. Fucking him, his brother-in-law Popeye, you know what I mean? His brother Smiley. Fucking I met a lot of his homies and they were really cool dudes. Fucking Monster, Wicked, fucking man. They're all was a disco, fucking shit, just good people.
Now
Really,
tell me a little bit more about other Chicano rap artists that you work with within that time frame. We heard Lil Blackie, The Whole Pimp Rollin',
Yes, sir.
and Teen Angel Records. Who else did you work with in that time?
Man, well, right out the gate, early on until I want to say, I mean, man, there was a lot of artists I worked with as far as back in the day, like DWTX, Lighter Shade of Brown, rest in peace, Bobby. I got to work with Bobby and meet him, you know, and we hung out a few times. He's a cool dude, funny dude. I was on Rasa Radio early on. Shout out to ODM. I didn't make no music with O. I still want to get a track done with O, but I haven't got one done with him yet. But like really after that, it was just, I started working with like Slow Pain. Shout out to Slow Pain. He was a really cool dude. Big Bandit, Old Town Mafia and them. I've worked with a couple of the guys from High Power. I've been on their stuff. I've worked with Mr. D in Southland. So I got around, like being in the game and, you know, on top of selling product and trading merch with other people who are selling CDs, that's how you actually made networks and you made connections, because it was like, oh yeah, you rap, oh yeah, you do shit, yeah, cool, let's do some shit. Or like, you know, I do song with a feature with somebody, like, I think I'm on Mr. D shit with a song with Blackie, and Blackie had went down there and I went with him to do some shit. And I ended up on the song, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't originally intending to go to rap, but I ended up on the track, you know?
Who was one of your favorite artists to work with in that time? Because, you know, there's a lot of them.
Man, I mean, obviously Sicko, he's like, you know, he's my stoner brother. So fucking working with Six, cool. Working with Slow Pain was fun. And it was more fun, I guess, working with certain ones, because it was like if we hung out and did shit aside of rap, like it made the rapping more fun, I guess, in a sense. Because like I did a lot of shit, like me and Slow, we went a lot of spots, and you know, we went to Catalina Island a few times with our manager. Our manager took us out there, and we did it up a couple weekends big in Catalina. So like getting to know people that I didn't know like that and fucking with them rapping wise is cool. You know what I mean? Because then you get to see them when the cameras are off and know who the fuck's who. Because I met my fair share of good people and I met my fair share of assholes too. You know what I mean?
Now, the first time I heard of you, you were Stoner Boy.
Kush Boy actually
Boy.
probably through Royal, man.
Kush
See,
Boy.
and that's something that's probably still in the works. Me and Royal, we've talked about getting it done. That's a whole moniker I was gonna do to release under the Low Pro banner, because I met Royal through Payaso, and I've known Royal a long time. Good dude, solid dude. We've done business, shows, tours, and we've never done the record though. So other than the Brown Pride Riders 5, which I helped do a couple songs on, I hadn't done anything prior to that with Royal. I've just I've known Royal. We've chilled. He's my homeboy. You know what I mean?
So you met him back in the 90s or early 2000s?
Early 2000s, like around 04, 05, I want to say I first met Royal. And then that's when we started doing Payaso's True Blue album. And Payaso actually plugged that connection. And we met him I met him at the fucking Pachanga Casino. He's having a fucking studio session in one of the hotel suites. And I was like, man, that's when I first got to see how he operates and how professional he is about his shit. Homie had all his setup there, the equipment, the booth, fucking really fucking dope time. And we knocked out a couple of dope records that day, I think, if I recall.
So you got songs with a low profile artist?
I have a song with Royal T recently that I just dropped, but originally, I think on the True Blue Gangsters album, I want to say it's just the Teen Angel artists that were featured throughout that album. I don't know if the Low Pro guys are on it, because I know on a Payaso's True Blue album, they're on there, like Silencer and Sancho and them. They're on that album, but like on the True Blue Gangsters album, which would be the Low Pro Teen Angel album, I think it's just us. I think Royal might be like on one song, but I'm not sure if I was on it with him.
A lot of the youngsters nowadays, they look at Chicano rap like worthless, right?
Yeah.
They look at it like there's no money. They look at it like it's a waste of time. The homies can't rap. But Chicano rap took you on the road. Name me some of the places you visited to do concerts because of Chicano rap.
Man, Washington, so there's Yakima, Toppenish, Idaho, Oregon, Texas, Arizona. Like I did the Midwest, the whole Midwest run to the West Coast, up and down, like, you know what I mean? Colorado, I've been to New Mexico, I've been to Florida, to Tampa. That one was really dope because that one was David Banner, myself, Slow Pain, and that was a sold out crowd. It was like in a big ass fucking arena out in Tampa. That shit was fun.
So how did you book these shows? Were they through somebody else? Were they calling you?
Well, after I stepped out of Teen Angels, I was working with another manager of mine, which is Cheryl. Cheryl's a big lady in the car game, like car business wise. She did the car show stuff. That was like her calling back in the day. She wanted to do a record. We did the record, and she put a lot of money into the record. And through that, I got to do a lot of shit people yearn to do in the game and to get in the game for. I did it a lot of times with Cheryl, because Cheryl was really about her business and had us out there pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I can ask, what record is this that was pretty big? Your biggest record?
It's the biggest record I think to date that I've done on my own, or in a sense with through Cheryl, would have been the record I got, which is Do It Daddy, which is featuring Baby Bash and Don Cisco. It's produced by Fingers. The whole project that I did with Cheryl was produced by Fingers from start to finish. And back then, during that time, that's a rarity. I still don't know too many artists other than his homegrown artists that have that. They could say a whole record done from Fingers. Shout out to Fingers, by the way.
And this was when Baby Bash was popping.
Yeah, Baby Bash was the guy. He had just dropped, and it's crazy because I had met him. I met him when I went to a lowrider car show in Vegas. I met him at a super show, but it was like after in Vegas at the Excalibur. I was having a buffet, and I met him there. I still got that picture somewhere at the house where, fucking, it's like right when I was early getting in the game. He was literally top shit popping, just dropped, and then like a year later, we did the track together from when we took that picture. Like a little over a year later, maybe.
Is this the track with Dolle Girl?
The original track featured Dolle Girl. My track that I have out on Spotify doesn't feature Dolle Girl.
So what's the drama behind this record with Dolle Girl?
I don't. You know what, man? Salute to Dolle and all that. That's an old past relationship thing,
A fling.
and I guess you could say, but it's an OG thing, old news, and I respectfully have moved on since then. So yeah, like as far as how I ended up with the record, Cheryl blessed me with the record and the ability to release a song or re-release the song if I wanted to. So I did it. You know what I mean? And it's a dope record. You know what I'm saying?
To
So
bring some clarity to the people that are watching, we had Dolly Girl here last week, like 2 weeks ago, and believe it or not, she said that you ruined her career. That record, somehow you took her off the record. She was blowing up. She was on the radio, and you blackballed her out the game.
I like I said, bro, when it's a past relationship, so I'll just leave it at that. Like I said, I don't speak ill on anybody. You know what? God bless whatever endeavor she's doing, and like I said, respectfully, I've moved on.
So that was your biggest record then.
That was at the time probably the biggest record I think I've done.
Radio, touring,
Radio wise,
everything.
touring wise, during the time with Cheryl, that was probably one of the busiest times. But to be honest, I toured more, I think, with Payaso earlier on than I did with Cheryl and them. Like we toured, we stayed busy, but I did a lot more performances early on with Payaso because we were busy. We stayed busy.
Name some of the bad stuff though that Chicano rap has to offer besides the good stuff.
Man, bro, like you gotta watch who you show love to. You gotta watch who. Not everybody has your best interests. I mean, even if they seem like they do, some people really are out to they really want your downfall. They crave your downfall, or they're obsessed with it. That they'll pretend to be cool with you, but like they put you in situations where it's like you end up worse, and then like they look at you and they belittle you. So it's just like friends out here in the normal world. You got to watch who you fucking eat with. You know what I'm saying? And I learned that. Thankfully, I keep my circle small. I always have. I got a lot of homies. I got a lot of friends and people I could go out and mingle with, be cool with. But like as far as letting that inner circle close, just like I'm sure you guys got your team here and that's your squad, that's your core. You know what I mean? It's just you got to watch who you keep in your circle. You feel me?
So now we're in 2025. You started doing music early 2000s. What's changed, bro, in Chicano rap? Is Chicano rap even relevant anymore?
I think it is. I think it's always going to be relevant because I think if you look at, I'm sure the numbers don't lie. I mean, if we could pull up numbers if that were possible, but like you're going to have timeless hits. You're going to have fucking your Little Rob, your Shadows. You're going to have, your Payasos, your Royalties, your Kid Frost, your Lighter Shade of Browns, your Cypress Hills. Like it's embedded as far as what it is. It's that's never going away. I think it's transitioned into something completely different. Like the guys who are on now, not to say that it's like segregated or different, but it's like it's not the same. But I can't explain it, And a shout out to the new guys too, because the new guys, they're doing it. They're getting it to certain levels too that other artists back then couldn't have. So you know what I mean? It's like to each his own.
So it morphed into something new. It transformed into what we have now. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think it's like we're the original mold for what's out there now. I think just like anything, times change, right? So motherfuckers ain't into shit that was popping 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? They're into the now, and like the generation, unless you're embedded in that culture, that original OG culture, it's kind of like you get with the times and you stay into what's relevant now.
So why do you think these kids shit on Chicano rap, bro? They shit on it, like really disrespect it.
And it's no disrespect to any of the artists out there before, but I think what it is what they're looking for was that's like how do I say it? Like I get it, like if you're making like a dope Chicano rap record, right, you're gonna have homies that are out there gang banging, liking your shit if you're making gang banging music, right? But like if gang banging is not your thing and you're into just getting money or being successful or in a sense like stoner shit if you're a hippie, you know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna be into different records. So like I think the time has changed of the street shit to me is morphed into something different now. Like kids are just into being kids more. Like I got kids now and I'm like I noticed that shit. It's like there's youngsters out there that are still doing the crazy shit and gang banging and shit. Don't get me wrong. You got those product of their own environments, and I'm one of that. But it's like you got other motherfuckers that just said, you know what? I want to do something different. Like I want to be into something different. I don't want to follow that way. You feel me?
Have you heard the term "stuck in a Chicano rap box"?
Yep.
Where do you think that term came from?
The
Honest answers only.
I think that term is fucking from the labels, the labels back then, even till today. Like I've met a few of the suits, and they've literally, they compliment certain things, or they'll tell me, you know what, this is cool, but then I hear them talk about other artists, and they're just like, no, we don't want that on our stage. You know what I'm saying? We don't want that on our airwave or our event. You know what I'm saying? Like we sell a different image, and it's crazy because 50 or somebody else big, the influence could be tatted up, tatted down, and they'll do business with them. But it's like a Chicano who's tatted and is bald, like that shit would scare them at one point away from doing business.
So you're saying that the look is why they categorized you guys in the box?
I think because at that time too, a lot of guys, that look was common. Like fuck, look, I mean, I'm bald by choice, but at the same time, I got my dad's hairline, so I'm gonna be bald regardless. But like seeing that everywhere became a normality. Like it was kind of like the thing to do. Like, oh, shave your head, fucking, you know what I mean, and fucking, and join the new wave in a sense. Like you know what I mean. Like it died. That changed. That changed to motherfuckers got full blown hair, wild ass hair now. You know what I mean. So I don't
I'm
know.
just trying to figure out why, because you said right now that it seemed like 50 Cent can be tatted down and gang related, but a Mexican that's the same is not accepted in the music game back then. Why? What's the difference? What's separating both?
I think I don't know, man. I don't know if it's the gangbang music that people were putting out intimidated them. Maybe I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think they just didn't want to. Like, if they like, cause then like if you look at records that do come out, and there are cats that got big time rappers on their shit, got big time. Like I've worked with big time rappers on on my shit, and it's just like you still get that label on you, even if you don't want that label. The ones that don't want it, there's a lot of guys that refuse to have that tag on them. You know what I mean? And the way I looked at it as is just I'm an artist, I'm a rapper. However, if you're gonna put me in that category, obviously, then because of look at my followings and who I came out with, I get that. You know what I'm saying? But like me and Payaso make totally different records. You know what I'm saying? So me coming in the Chicano rap game was odd for me because it was like I'm different. I'm the odd artist. I'm not fucking like Rob and I'm not like Shadow, but they're cool as fuck. They're the homies. You know what I mean? I've done shows with them, and it's like my shit didn't sound like theirs, but at the same time, I did music with Payaso, so it was just like we found a way to make it work and still, sound dope.
So here's the question I ask everybody that comes up here: who do you think made more money or has made more money, the Chicano rappers from back in the day or the new wave now with the young kids?
If you're talking just off of rap, off of their music, off of, I guess you would compete sales from streams to physical sales, it's no question it's going to be physical sales. But at the same time, you could get a lot somewhere real quicker and real faster now. And now you can make money X, Y, and Z, streaming, fucking staying, just going on live, you know what I mean, getting your social shit up and fucking monetizing your shit. Like there's different avenues that are easier now for fucking people. For me, like if I didn't have Payaso, I honestly don't know who would have put the record out. I don't know who would have took the chance and been cool with me, let alone did good business with me for more than 10 years. I don't know one. You know what I'm saying?
So Do you think that it's easier now to get on, or you think it's easier? It was easier back then.
I think to get on now, like I said, it's easier now because now you could do everything, fuck, literally anything from the palm of your hand. Like if I would have had a studio, which I did, but it's like if I would have known earlier on about how to use it, I guess as a kid, if I would have took that time to learn it, because I learned it early on, but if I would have did it maybe 2 years sooner, I would have had a lot more shit out. I'm not too sure. Fucking
Because nowadays you got the phone, so you got social media.
yeah.
All you got to do is do a backflip, and now you got a fan base.
That's what I'm saying. Like we didn't have that then. Like you had to go out there and get your fan base. You had to go to the mall with a stack of flyers and fucking give everybody your flyer. Fucking do that shit a couple times throughout the week. You know what I mean? I go to different malls, different swap meets, car shows, fucking whatever events I have. You know, boxing events like Chris Arreola, the heavyweight Chris Arreola. I fucking did the song for his second professional fight.
And that will cost money, bro, because you got to print the flyers, you got to get the gas money, you got to meet the people, you got to
Yeah.
move around, you got to
Yeah.
eat, you got to
Yeah.
bring the entourage.
Yeah.
So that was
And then
money,
pay to
right?
look good, get your shoes, you know what I'm saying? Your stay fucking, you know, fucking the whole nine. So it's like you're dumping so much money into yourself, you're your own investment. Which I wish I would have known now is how you could have wrote a lot of that shit off like early on. Cause taxes because you can. You know what I'm saying? Like you can write off your miles and your gas and your food if you establish yourself as a business and do it the right way, of course. But like, yeah, it's a trip, man. It's the grind was a lot harder then. Now it's too easy. It seems like it's too easy, but even now, yeah, it's hard to get views. You know what I mean? Like not everyone's just clicking, tuning into something because they're bored.
Yeah.
But sometimes people are. You know what I mean? Like people like watching people's lives. Like, you know what I mean?
What's something you see now today and you don't approve of when it comes to this whole Chicano rap music?
I feel there's a lot more politicking, like, and I feel like there's a lot more motherfuckers incorporate a lot more street shit into the business aspect of things, and they could let that get in the way of doing business, or they could put themselves in bad situations because that. I mean, beef and that type of shit's always existed, so I'm not saying like that shit's new or nothing. I just feel like now it's like almost like I don't know how to put it, bro. Like if you're not a certain type of way, if you don't fit that standard to certain people, they gatekeep you out the fucking mix. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, me being raised differently, like as far as my mentality, my street mentality, because I have it, I've seen it, I've been out there, I've done the whole nine, I've seen it. But like, it's different than others because I don't play my shit their way. And I don't know. And
It's just a big get along gang now.
yeah.
Back then, as long as you had the hustling skills, you go out there, you make money, nobody's gonna stop you.
Yep.
Nowadays, it seems like you have to be cool with certain people. If not, they'll try to stop you.
Yeah.
I've noticed that too in the podcast game. People, look at you like an outsider if you don't kiss ass. And I come from the 90s, bro, so we ain't kissing ass to nobody, homie. So we gonna have a tough battle because, it's either me or you, and it ain't gonna be me.
Like the way I look at it, bro, I've always been raised to be like, do humble business. You know what I'm saying? Like the people around me. If you look at the people around me, from Payaso to Royalty to fucking Slow Pain, my old manager Cheryl, like them people do good business. Like you know what I'm saying? Like they're all about getting their shit done. Royal is one of the most fucking professional motherfuckers I know when it comes to handling your business. You know what I'm saying? Like have your P's and Q's in order, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And go out there and get it and figure out a way to get it. And there's just certain people that have it and certain people that don't. You know what I mean?
So what can we expect new from Mr. One?
Bro, I stay dropping shit. Just check on my page, man. I got about, maybe this year, I don't know if I've dropped about 3 or 4 songs this year. I dropped a lot more last year, but my singles, I have a lot of singles that I stay dropping. The last one I just dropped was Feeling It 25. featuring the homie Ogami. I got new shit coming, Stego Mob shit, the Working Class Society. I got a new album coming. Yeah, just be on the lookout, man. If you'll see it out there if I put it out there. You know what I mean?
Now, before we close this out, I do want to bring you up to date. Chicano rapper Mr. Blue passed away.
Mr.
Do you know
Blue?
who that is?
No.
Mr. Blue, Central Side Records.
Okay, I've heard of Central Side though.
He got like big old horns on his head.
Oh man, rest in
You
peace.
haven't,
Man.
you don't know who this artist is? Oh wow. Okay, yeah. He's not too much of a prominent figure, but he did have a movement in the mid 2000s. He
Yeah.
recently passed away.
I've heard of Central Side for sure. I know that, but I don't know if we've ever did business, man. Like I've met so many fucking Mexican artists, man, throughout the way from.
He's from the 805.
Okay, then yeah, I probably didn't do any business with him. I think who do we do business with in Salt Lake? We did business with somebody in Salt Lake. I can't even remember what label he ran now. I have to think about it another day, but like I know we linked up with Click on One and them out there before. Like I said, Shadow, Rob, fucking Slow, Bandit.
Chicano rap has seen a lot of deceased artists. Rest in peace, Night Owl.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Toker from Brownside.
Yep, Toker.
Rest in peace, Wreck from Wicked Minds.
Wicked Minds. Bobby.
Rest in peace, Bobby.
Yep.
That's double
TX.
TX. Rest in peace, Payaso from the Dukes Click.
Yeah.
Any other memorable
Slow
ones?
Pain.
Slow
Okay,
Pain.
you know
Rest
what
in
I'm saying?
peace.
Like it's a trip, bro. When you think about it, it's like, man, I've been on the road with these guys. Like, we've hung out multiple times. We've laughed. We fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like me and Slow, we would watch Laker games. I vividly remember being in Catalina Island. We had it was the Laker game. Kobe came back and hit the game winner against the Suns before we fucking got lost like 4 games in a row and got eliminated in the playoffs. But that motherfucker was mad. He was a serious gambler when it came to fucking Laker games. Motherfucker was hot, like, oh, we're gonna lose, fuck that. Fucking, he stormed off. He was outside on the balcony or whatever, and fucking Kobe came back, got the win. I fucking, oh, hey, we won. I fucking tell him, but we fucking won. Fat ass came through sliding in, all happy, fucking, and he slid on the floor. That shit was so dope. But yeah, man, like, it's a trip, bro. I've had some good times on the road with these people, and to know that they're gone, like, it's crazy, you know what I mean? Like, I rode in the car with Payaso hundreds of miles, you know what I mean? Took flights, fucking, like I said, did shows. And fucking, that motherfucker taught me so much, like, in the aspect of Chicano rap. You know, he introduced me to so many people. Like, yeah, I met, like, Capone and them on my own, too, you know, the high-powered people, but, like, other artists that I didn't even know of, like, yeah, this is so-and-so, he runs this, he runs all this, you need this, come see him. You need glasses or you need T-shirts, come see that dude. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't gatekeep shit, you know what I'm saying? It was like, he plugged me up with the right people. Fucking good dude.
Now, ending this interview, is there any last words you want to leave the people with? Maybe let them know what you got up and coming, where they can find you, you know, words of wisdom.
Shit, man. Fucking Instagram, Manny Mista. Spotify, Mr. One. And what's crazy is there's another Mr. One. He's a DJ. I want to say somewhere in fucking France or somewhere, bro. And his shit gets intertwined. Like, 'cause he spells his name the same as me. And fucking his shit gets intertwined in my shit. So, like, I don't have a different genre of music. That's not me. Yeah. But I have shit on there. You look me up, my shit's on there. So fucking stay on the lookout for that. I got a couple of videos I'm working on. Me and Roy are working on a movie, a couple of different things. Yeah, and just be humble. Stay true to yourselves. Don't let no one tell you what you can and can't do. Don't listen to nobody out there. Negativity. Motherfuckers feed off of that shit. And shit, man, don't give them that shit.
Give the up and coming artist one piece of advice that you wish you would have had.
Oh man, even when you think you have the connections to do it all, and you still got to do it. It takes you. It's always gonna take you. Focus on you. If you focus on you more than you focus on other shit, you're gonna win. The more you focus on other shit other than yourself, you're gonna lose.
And with that being said, I appreciate you pulling up. You know you're welcome at any time.
Hell yeah, good
You've
looking.
you've had a long-lasting career, and you're still here.
Yes,
You
sir.
know that's more than what other people can say. So hopefully you drop some new music, and you know we can have more years of Mr. One.
Yeah, Feeling It 25, like I said, it's out. Go check out the record with Baby Bash, Do It Daddy. Shit, bro, I got so much shit. HV double N's on there. I got fucking a new song with Sicko I just dropped not too long ago. I'm on little Sicko's new shit. Go stream his shit, all the homie shit. And man, God bless y'all. Stay safe. One love. You know what it is.
Let's go, Hater World, and we out.
Yeah.